The skies are cold and gray. The storm is on its way. The flat horizon, leafless trees, there's nothing far as you can see out here. You shiver like a wave. Your snow boots soles are chafed. You left your heart in paradise. You left it all to roll the dice with me. And I will shake away the cloudy skies with California lullaby. And when you're frozen with desire, we'll put our toes up to the fire, and I will sing your cares away. Sand between my toes, your hands beneath my clothes. The memories of golden days when we first met and parted ways too soon. The distance lost its fight when you lay down at night. Without a map, you chose your heart. Now we are one, but you're still far from home. So let me shake away the cloudy skies with the California lullaby. When you're frozen with desire, we'll put our toes up to the fire, and I will sing your cares away. And when you're frozen with desire, we'll put our toes up to the fire, and I will sing your cares away. I know it feels like spinning wheels, digging you much deeper in the snow. Don't worry, cause the winter thaws, and you will watch the river start to flow. In that place, the empty space will fill you with a warm embrace, and I will hold you tight until it's home, and I will shake away the cloudy skies from the California lullaby. And when you're frozen with desire, we'll put our toes up to the fire, and I will sing your cares away. So let me take you back to paradise. All you gotta do is close your eyes. And when you're frozen with desire, we'll put our toes up to the fire, and I will sing your cares away.
All right, am I unmuted? Can you hear me? Let me know if my sound works. I had to reset up everything, which was fun. I have been away for a couple weeks, at least a couple weeks, I think almost a month at this point. I was away. I went to Colorado. I saw the Rockies. I got to go and play in some rivers and lakes. And I got a nice break from the city. Like Denver is way chiller than San Diego. San Diego is pretty rocking and busy, and I like the busyness and the jolts of the city. but I really do love the mountains. One of these days, I'm going to be shoved out of living in California because I can't fucking afford it. It is crazy here. But till then, I'm trying to live it up and enjoy the beach and the sand and the mountain. We got a little bit of mountains, not Colorado mountains, but we got a little bit of mountains. But like I have like all this access to all these cool things, and I love the beach. I love the ocean, and it's one of the places that relaxes me and calms me down and grounds me. But the other place that grounds me, I had an interview with Fabio, and I said Sequoia Mountains in the Sierra Nevadas here, which is quite a drive for me. But we've been several times, and I love it there. I feel like a little wood sprout. But Denver kind of gives me that wood sprout feeling again that I love so much. And there, I mean, I feel like the mountains are a little bit bigger, and everything, but and maybe the trees are just a little bit smaller, not quite redwood status, but they're still amazing. But I love the feeling that I get. I feel like I'm grounded. I'm more peaceful, and I don't know, like it just makes me feel connected or something. I don't know how to put it that way, but I love it. And it calms me right the heck down. So maybe I belong somewhere there because maybe the city's gotten to me all my life. I don't know. So anyway, I appreciate everybody joining. It is really hard to meet up with folks these days, especially if you fall out of the algorithm. So I appreciate maybe you saw a notice or something. Awesome. I'm glad that you were here. I'm going to say hi to folks in the chat. That's what I usually do. Spooky bed hair is everywhere all the time. This man is in all the discords, in all the places, in all the videos. He is there. I've never met anybody that knows so much and is everywhere as much as Spooky. So welcome, Spooky. Critical Cupcake, good to see you. Good to see you. Cupcake. Wait a minute, did you change it to Cupcake? Leanne, always good to see you. Oh, yeah. I don't usually see you in my lives, actually. Well, sometimes I do, occasionally, but not as much as I'd like to. So I'm glad to see you. Melissa Boomer, thank you for coming over. Always glad to see you, obviously. And let's see here. Going through the list. Strawberry Harpy. Strawberry Harpy is super dangerous. Watch out for her. Just kidding. She's great. she's my fellow mod over in the Unifam also. So hi, Strawberry. And good. My sound's working. That's good. Awesome. Good feedback. Rose, good to see you. Woohoo. Do Good Letters is good to see you. And I love your name because it's a big test for history nerds. So appreciate it. Colorado, Japan. That's exactly where I was. How did you know? Colorado, Japan. Definitely. Dude, it's pretty fantastic. I loved it. But I've been there a few times. But that's because I also like mountains and shit. So I used to rock climb when I was healthier and younger. And so it's one of the places I've been just for those trips. And plus we had like Joshua Tree over here. So let's see. Lono, good to see you. Jennifer, good to see you. Yep. Fear me. You're very scary. Very scary, Strawberry. There's nothing scarier than fruit coming at you sideways. I'm just saying. Belinda Paul, very good to see you as well. So I'm kind of dipping out of the norm here, but I'm going to hit on a couple things. Oh, I don't know. So there's a lot of things going on that I kind of wanted to hit on, just kind of catching up with the Dramaverse. And before I start on this, there's a lot of things I do actually really like that isn't related to drama and Steve and weirdness and Shani. And there's some times where I'm going to miss my mute button. Hang on. And I'm perpetually like Doc Holliday, so that's a kind of an unfortunate side effect of my channel. But I do enjoy connection and conversations and stuff like that. So if you're interested in ever joining the panel to have a discussion about a serious subject or something fun, or if we do have a game night or something like that, these are the stuff that I actually love to do most of all. But here I am, and I do like these side quests of watching weirdos too. So I like to do a lot of weirdo watching as well. So I think a lot of us are a little bit like that. We can do the weirdo watching, and we like to have good conversations. We like both. Navy's in the house. Hi, Navy. Navy and I have had a discussion about politics. And that's one of those ones where a lot of people go, oh, I hate you both. I don't like you. I don't like you. And it's like a big war zone. But Navy and I tend to have conversations about politics where we walk away being okay with each other at the end of it. And we might sometimes even sound a little bit passionate when we're disagreeing, like, how could you, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, we walk away and we are friends. And I appreciate that. And I feel like there should be more conversations like that. And I know that Navy and I've kind of tossed around this idea of having these conversations maybe in a public space. We did a little bit on Twitter, and I kind of wanted to see what would happen. You know, people seem to be overall receptive of that. If you would like to have more conversations like that, give old Navy a nudge here, and we will maybe do that. I would love to just play up that I'm from California and I'm just a liberal. And he's a Texan conservative. And can we get along? Can we have conversations and come out of that unscathed? And the answer is yes, we can. It's very possible. But yeah, civil discourse is a must. And I think there's times when we frustrate each other, but I think it's largely a good thing to have conversations without coming out mortal enemies. I just want to say hi to a couple more people that I see. Maya, good to see you. If you don't know, Maya has a golden wrench. She is like everywhere with the wrench, and she's one of the best mods I've ever seen in my life. So, let's see here. Sorry, Wilson, good to see you. Quilts and comforters. Well, I have a comforter, but actually, if I was to say what's better, it would be a quilt. Is that a question? No? Okay. So yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So you'd rather have a religious discussion than politics. That is fair. I find that people are more heated on politics than religion. I can talk about God or no God, and there's some passion behind it, but the vitriol comes with what you do with your taxes. Suddenly everything gets real tense after that. So I agree. Sometimes politics is actually a harder subject than a religion for people to walk away, get along, be friends afterwards. So it's one of those tough things. All right. Shame on you for making blanket statements. Oh, okay. Oh man. You're full of the dad jokes today. You and Navy should battle out dad jokes, man. And maybe Hans as well. $5 super chat. Glad you're back. Thank you so much, Maya. It's good to be back. It's been a little while. I know that you had messaged me and you're like, are you alive? I'm like, yes, I'm alive. So press 1 if you're alive. Yes, I'm alive. Anyway, well, there's been a lot going on, so I'm a little behind. One of the videos I'm going to watch is from the 11th, and I know it's the 19th, and I know like the saying goes, like if it's really old, don't touch it. But of course I'm going to touch it because, you know, it's me. And timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff, time is not an issue. So a couple things I wanted to kind of hit on. I wanted to cover Ranel coming at AZ. I've been watching you, and I do think you're one of the sister wives nowadays, or maybe a junior sister wife. I don't know. But I definitely have seen you coming up the ranks, and I think I'm finally going to say something. And then Charlotte, I might address a little bit. And in a peace and love kind of way, I don't have a problem with Charlotte except her takes lately and consistency. But I don't particularly have a personal dislike for her. I want to be clear. It's more like, I take issue with this. And so I thought I'd vocalize it in the most polite way possible. Because Charlotte's always been good and polite to me. So obviously she deserves that back. Well, if you know JKJ and have been following that, I'll do a quick story of that. Maybe I'll start off with that because it comes out with a pop. That's something kind of fun. So JKJ was a woman who Steve had brought kind of closer into the community, but she had been kind of creeping around the KJP stuff for a while and kind of just decided to go bonkers. And she was, how do I say this? Introducing herself in ways that were not safe for work in places, and people didn't appreciate that. And they said, "No, not here, buddy." And she was a little bit hyped up on that and would just insist on it. As Steve had utilized her, I would say, as he does. If you notice, he has like a group of people he keeps around him that are of a special set of skills. Usually, they're willing to do things that no normal person would do. Right now, like for instance, close to him, he has Alice and Wolf. Alice, who talks like this, who thinks she's upswinging like a valley girl, but she's not a valley girl. She's 52. Yeah, Alice and Wolf, who are utilized in his little army of trolls lately. But also before that was one that he attempted to use, and that was JKJ. JKJ didn't last too long in his group because, well, Chesh didn't like her. And she was pretty horrible and rude to Chesh. So she didn't last too long with him. But when he did have her, he utilized her against Uni, and it was pretty gross, pretty grotesque. So yeah, she ended up on my radar from that. She ended up on other people's radars. And she's been archived and confronted, and she had a seat with Chris Hansen, which is pretty interesting. So yeah. Real quick, just gonna say hi to the folks that are catching up on chat. Hillary Pugh, long time no see. Hillary Pugh and I have known each other for 7 years. Oh my goodness, it's been that long. Yep, since I was new to the YouTube streets. Special skills, tone deaf hunting. Yeah, that special skills like that. Exactly. Miss Star, good to see you. Good to see you around. Yep. So if I miss anybody, Trusty 8 Podcast, good to see you. I do apologize. I'm going to kind of move on, and sometimes I miss saying hi. So thank you. All right. So I'm going to share a video and we will discuss it. And it's hilarious. This first one, we're going to start off with a pop and a zing and a bang. And let me see if before I share it, let me make sure I have it at the right time. How many of this do I want to share? 1 second here. I'm just gonna do this one. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is from Green Frog's channel. If I share a channel, I try to share where it comes from. Green Frog has been following JKJ for a long time and keeping track of the nonsense that she's been doing all throughout several communities. And so we appreciate that. But, well, sometimes you just have to confront the people that are ticking you off. So there is a strong language warning on this. It's probably going to be the only thing with strong language that I'm going to be watching. But hey, why not? I do what I want. So here we go.
Is that? Check out OnlyFans.
That you laughing, Jesse?
No,
that's me listening to her. Jesse, what is the plural of woman? Can you help me with that? Let's do a quiz. Let's do a pub quiz. What is the plural of woman?
woman.
Woman is a plural of woman.
What is your issue?
I like how she doesn't blink. She's like, the plural of woman is woman, and then she's like, moving on.
Nothing. I just want to hear some of your wisdom. What is the plural of woman?
I'm not going to answer you because now you're
It's a trick question, right?
Green
woman,
Frog,
right?
So
I thought you said Green Frog. Wait.
so
this
yeah,
is
so now
Green-
they just uncovered themselves. So that's why they were doing those streams with exactly. Someone came to me from that group.
You cannot be this stupid and make it to this age. Listen to yourself, honey.
All right.
You can't be.
See, you run the sock accounts because the sock accounts that are pretending to be me are
You run the sock accounts. What? Which sock accounts?
saying honey. You
Are
just
you
outed
kidding?
You
yourself.
said honey,
You just
You just
therefore
outed
Yeah.
yourself as
a common phrase like honey totally outs who you are.
Green Frog and
Did we-
using sock accounts and saying honey to people. So you
Yeah,
just
but-
outed yourself. And not
I'd
only
like to
that,
point
so
out
are you the
Withering
one
Away's
distributing
comment.
my nudes to the community
Wait,
as well? You're distributing my revenge porn? Is that what's
Nobody
happening?
distributed
Wow.
your nudes
No, you're
except
just
for
admitting
you.
to no.
You put your
This is
big
disgusting.
sloppy fat
So Ember, I'm
butthole
going
all
to
over
find
the
your name and I'm
internet.
going to take you to court. This
You
is
are the one
disgusting.
that did it.
You go
Take me
real
to
life
court,
with
you
people.
rancid
I
whore.
am going.
Dude.
I'm sorry, I'm dying. So so nobody wants these pictures, but she throws them everywhere, and nobody wants them. And so, get them, Green Frog, get them.
Do
to
it.
find your actual
Let's
fucking
do
name.
it. Let's
and-
go.
Yes,
Let's go,
because
Emma.
so
bitch.
you're,
Let's go
you're
all day
admitting you're
long.
behind
Yeah,
an
but-
account that's
Are
been
you
stalking and
kidding
harassing
me?
me for years. That's what you're
You
saying?
cannot be this stupid and
For years.
function
All right.
without the help of your
All
mommy
right,
and
yeah,
daddy.
I have you know, I didn't live with my parents my whole entire fucking life.
I've
I moved
heard
back
your
with them.
story,
No,
cunt
you-
face. I've heard it. It's
Okay,
worth
I really
nothing.
hope, yeah,
It's worth
all right.
all of
I
your
wish you well,
lies in
honey.
one. What you've done to people, I hope
I
it all
haven't done
catches up on you
shit.
threefold.
What you have done to people, justice for them. How about that? Because I've seen the video.
What you've done to people, justice for them. How dare you record their own words and then show how bad it is? How dare you?
About you, and I tried to be nice to you. No, you're a disgusting person, and that's it. Calling me a cunt is mean. And
Who
as a
is it?
woman, you shouldn't be calling another woman that. That's all I
As a
have to
woman,
say.
you
I
shouldn't
don't
So
be
now
calling
you
other
just
women
admitted
that.
I don't
to
call
stalking
other
and
women
you
that.
just admitted
I call
to stalking
Jessie
and harassing
that.
me for
I've
years,
never
and
called
that's it.
other
I'm getting
women
off
that.
because
I
now I
call
have to
Jessie that.
contact legal.
Run, bitch, run.
That could be a song. I don't call other women that, but I call Jessie that. I like it. So she runs. Okay. And yeah.
Okay, so this should be fun. I've actually never really heard this full song before. I've only heard it in a commercial, so like a couple seconds. So I kind of know like the gist of it. But okay, this is just a joke, by the way. Ja run, ja run, ja run, ja run. I'm begging you, please don't steal my breed.
Oh, right. So that's JKJ. Yep. So JKJ got chewed on by a frog and ran. So that was interesting. And she's had a seat with Chris Hansen. I mean, that's pretty special. I mean, I don't know. Get beaten up by a frog and also Chris Hansen. That's pretty amazing. So there you go. So that was JKJ, utilized by the Lobster Cults at one point. And really nasty piece of work, but like that's a whole lot of rabbit hole for us to explain here all in 1 second. So I'm going to move on to the next thing that we're going to be watching here, which is I'm going to go with Ranel. So Ranel Smith is I would argue, one of the sister wives of Steve. And generally, I've just kind of been watching her, just chilling. But I think I'm going to watch this and respond to it because it looked like it had enough things to respond to in it and not just vapid nonsense. Maybe not. I don't know. I could be just being too hopeful, but we'll see. All right, so we're going to share screen. And for some reason, they added a tab here. So let me not mess this up here and see. Nope, that's not it. That's not the screen. This is the screen. All right, and then we're going to expand this out so it looks less weird. And here we go. Oh, by the way, before I start this, yeah, I have, let's see if I can do this. I have a wolf in the background, but it's not showing up as well as I'd like because, Halloween and stuff. Let me see if I can. Anyway, all right. So Ranel is addressing AZ. In her description, she says, I have a suggestion for AZ since she's not happy with the way people are making videos about KJP living rent-free in her head. And so she's got some little pro tips to give to AZ here. So I'm gonna watch it and see what I think.
drying them off. So wherever you are in this world, hope everybody is having an amazing week so far. You guys, as you can see, I am in my bedroom. Second day of winter cleaning. I've taken down all the curtains and
This is very
put
relevant.
them in the washer, drying them off. So once all the curtaining is done, I'll put the curtains back. But it feels so good just to be stuck in my room here and just taking a breather. I just got out the shower. It's been a long day. My body is sore, but that all just comes with the territory. So anyway, before I get into this video, please do not take what I say as fact. Feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusion. So I see certain people.
Feel free to come to your own conclusion after you do your research. Okay. Do you ever research, Ranel? I'm just curious. And you sound really busy, so I was just wondering if you have time.
Have time for jokes. And I am talking about AZ because I see she did a live stream where she actually, if you can hear noise, my dad is actually busy on my back porch doing some carpentry stuff, so I apologize about that. Like I said, AZ got time
I feel relieved because I was worried because I just watched JKJ before you, and when she goes zzz, it means something else, but I'm really glad that you explained that.
for jokes, and apparently this is also funny to her. But it just seems so weird to me. It's like, first, AZ was disappointed in me because of the shit Steve McRae does. And it's like, I am who I am, you know, and I am going to, if I feel wrong was done to him, and speak up for that.
I am what I say I am. If I wasn't, I don't know. I don't know the lyrics. I think that's an Eminem song, isn't it?
I'm going to do it. It's just who I am. And if you don't know, Katie Joy falsely accused Steve of sexual harassment, and she just can't keep.
Citation needed, Renault. Citation needed. Were you there? You make an assumption. Second of all, second of all, first of all, I'm already jumping conclusions. You assume that it's false. Second of all, and probably because of who it is. KJP isn't very likable. I got it. But second of all, it was a pre-show, so you wouldn't have been there. And third of all, have you ever talked to people that know him and have had experiences? I don't know, just saying, like, how things go. And fourth of all, that TRO had nothing to do with SH. That's a lie that Steve spreads. It's about other harassment.
Keep her story straight. So if AZ feels that she has a problem with him, how does that become my problem? I'm no follower. Now, because her YouTube mother that she looks up to, Miss Kay Baxter, has deemed me, and apparently I've checked off all the boxes that I'm a sister wife. So
why do you assume that only comes from Kay? I love Kay. Kay's great. It's very rational mind, a calming force in a lot of the community. But like there isn't like an army that follows Kay. Yes, Kay, do her bidding. Like she doesn't have to deem you anything. I think we've all kind of. Why I say you all, I guess people that observe and have eyes and ears and watch behaviors and watch how people go to bat for each other. We kind of notice who teams up with who. So yeah, I wouldn't say that's a K thing that's deemed it, but okay, nice assumption on your part.
now AZ feels she needs to capitalize on it and make me the butt of her joke. So this is what actually happened. So it says sister wife.
So AZ made a sister wife application. If you would like to be a sister wife for Steve, AZ was very funny and made a sister wife application, job description, seeking motivated, lonely, desperate individuals who thrive on toxic environments and have little to no interest in exploring everything the web has to offer. Must be laser focused on anti-KJP watchers and be willing to work nights, weekends, holidays, must love Kool-Aid, and be able to gather information from enemies, execute plans of action via smear campaigns and detractions, and something about interviews being done by Ranel and Aaron. Aaron, Aaron, the person that I had gotten confrontive about. That's Aaron EKC. So yeah, so Ranel is on the sister wife I guess acceptance squad for if you want to apply to be a sister wife. There's the application. Apparently that was very upsetting to Ranel. She didn't like that very much. So absolute brilliance from AZ. I agree. I think that is probably one of the funniest things I've seen from AZ. AZ's very funny, got a lot of talent in that way. I think it's hilarious, and it really seemed to get under their skin. But I don't think it's untrue. So yeah, that's the one. Because I say whatever I say I am. Or that one. Yep, that's what it reminded me of. Absolutely. Must work Christmas Day. That's right. Must work Christmas Day.
Application.
Oh, speaking of Christmas Day, side note, Exiles, you kind of reminded me of this. Steve woke up on Christmas Day, what, a year ago or 2 years ago? It was during COVID, right? So we're all locked up and cooped up. It's Christmas Day. And then he hears this bam, 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 and that's my really bad imitation of a basketball hoop going. And someone's playing basketball from 8 till I think 1 p.m. and he starts bitching about it. It's Christmas. On Christmas, he tweets, "Who in their right mind is going to play basketball from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.? What's wrong with these people? Don't they want to sleep in?" And I'm thinking, I understand that you keep saying you're Jewish, so maybe you celebrate Hanukkah, but you've also worked retail, so you understand Christmas. And when people wake up at Christmas morning, they open up presents, and what do? They play with them. And I bet anything that basketball hoop was a Christmas present. I bet you anything. And so I bet that's why they were rocking that. But anyway, I digress. Funny story. He's just a Grinch. What can I say? He needs to wake up and actually get on with his day. Like, it's not like he actually works.
Position, junior sister wife. Job description, seeking motivated, lonely, desperate individuals who thrive in toxic environments and have little to no interest in exploring everything the web has to offer. Must be laser focused on anti-KJ watchers that are willing to work nights, weekends, and holidays. Must love Kool-Aid and be able to gather information on my enemies. Execute plans of actions via smear campaigns on my detractors. Must report to senior sister wives, Ranel and Aaron.
Senior sister wives.
Part-time to 40 hours a week.
I see what you did there when you said senior sister wife. That cuts both ways. That's funny. You want to be a senior sister wife. Yeah. Senior in every respect.
Hey, no.
But
Now, first of all, if you feel this is such a joke, all well and good. Go for it.
It is funny. It is a joke. It is funny. I think it's funny. Do you think it's funny? I think it's funny. One in chat if you think it's funny to have a sister wife application for Steve. 2 in chat if you think it's unfunny. I think it's funny. I don't know. But maybe I'm just a meanie. It's possible I'm mean. It's very possible. But it seems like you're kind of mad about it, Ranel. Like, I paused an opportune moment by accident, but you look a little mad.
At it. Whatever amuses your little brain, and that's fine. But why now all of a sudden? Since AZ, you know what you've done to Katie Joy. You know the shit that you caused for Katie Joy. So you feel now that you actually need to right your wrongs. So everybody must stop doing what they need to do. You see, AZ, the thing that you don't get is that people DM me. And just today,
people DM me. Yep. I'm sure people DM you. People DM everybody. Look at all these ones in chats. Funny. Funny is winning. No twos. Oh, and you're salty. But yeah, funny. You know, my small audience thinks it's funny. I'm just saying. Jennifer says, yeah, they need a sister wife union. That would be good. Maybe they could get Christmas off and play basketball if they wanted to, because Steve doesn't like it when people play basketball on Christmas. Only a sister wife would get mad at that, right? Yeah, she's a little bit slow to speak. like when she reads and stuff. So like I kind of want to put it on 22 speed, but I'm gonna just leave it as is.
Received a DM for something that Katie Joy vowed to do for these people in these cults, but she's not fulfilling her promises. So she is giving people false hope that she will advocate for them until her last breath. But it's not about that. It's all about the money for Katie Joy, what she can get out of it. So you see, AZ at the end.
I think it's about the money for a lot of the antis. I think the antis are stuck with Katie Joy and don't cover other things besides Katie Joy because Katie Joy makes money. I guarantee you, if I actually had focused on Katie Joy and pretended like I hated her as much as y'all, I probably would make money too. Like, there's money in hating Katie Joy. There really is. People, Steve ran a GoFundMe, paid all their bills, didn't go through with the lawsuit. And y'all said, take my money. It's cool. Take a few thousand. It's fine. We'll do it all over again. We're just sister wives. And EKC and Claire are saying they're not responsible for what happened with the fundraiser. Take it with Steve. If you have an issue, take it with Steve, even though they were like the number one shills of it. Particularly, I should aim that at EKC. EKC was the number one shill for that. Interesting. Take my money. I hate KJP that much. Justice must be served. I used to have a blog and I used to write for Pathos and she stole my content. And now I can't write ever again because reasons. And now I'm just going to whine about YouTube and be a sister wife. End of the day, what you choose to do is your problem, not our problem. What I choose to do, it's on me. It's my time, it's my energy, and what I choose to do. So don't let it affect you. And another thing is that if I do only report on Katie Joy, it's because I don't think it's affecting people, but you're probably going to get criticism for some of the stuff that you say and do. Like, I think that's going to be a given. You can't tell people that they can't do that. Buckle up. I have a life. I don't have time where I can sit on social media 24/7. I have 5 kids. No matter my. Well, 5 kids is a lot of kids. It's nice that you can afford that. Most of us can't. Second, damn, like, I don't know. If I had 5 kids, I certainly wouldn't be a sister wife. I don't know. My son is 25 years old, married, expecting his first child. He still deserves my time, my energy. So it's not like. Did you just say you married a 65-year-old guy who's expecting his first child? I'm just curious. I don't know why. Just for science, I'm curious. Just random information just out there. I'm just going to. My son's 25 years old, married, and expecting his first child. Oh, okay. It's your son. Okay, I misheard that. Awesome. He still deserves my time, my energy. So it's not like I'm only focusing on Katie Joy because I want to bring her down. It's because that's all I have time for. Okay. So. And you got to make time for the things that make you money, right? And let's get real. Katie Joy makes you money. That's just the way it is. Then if you want to just pause and read this, she actually goes over the requirements. And I'm not that type of person, you guys. I don't expect anybody to do anything for me. I do things myself the way I feel I need to do it. Just John makes a comment about the curry powder. I heard about that. Something about a kid had a cut and put curry powder on it. I need to figure out where that reference is exactly because I don't want to actually call it out. But that stings. That's not good. There are other ways to treat that without it being painful. My gosh, Mother of the Year, Jesus. I fend for myself. I take up for myself. But when I feel something is wrong, I'm going to voice my opinion about it. What Steve does on the outside of what I feel was done wrong to him, that's on him. He's a grown man.
there's shit I can do for him. And he seems to have all these issues with grown adults. They can fend for themselves. They can speak for themselves. If you guys have a problem with Steve and the money is raising, ask him. Go at him. Ask for.
Ha 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 ha! I see what you're doing there. You're doing the EKC thing. If you have a problem with the money that Steve earns and his GoFundMe, that seems pretty sketch. Go ask him. Except y'all shilled it. So I'm gonna share. I'm just gonna be looking at you too, and I'm definitely gonna be looking at EKC because she shilled it the hardest. And that's where I think that there's some shared blame here because you are enabling somebody that's able to take funds and do what with them? What?
Feels refund, do what you'll need to do. So this is my suggestion to AZ, okay? Since she's so up in arms about people talking about everything Katie Joy does and she wants people to stop, why don't you do Katie Joy a favor? Put out an application for friends for Katie Joy because it seems as though she can't stick to her own boundaries. She needs people that's going to be there to show her support away from her career, her job, whatever she wants to call it, because you see, she seems to have this need for people to show her some love, some compassion, some sympathy, just some attention. Just yesterday, she posted this. She says today was brutal.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think a parent can post things about their kids if they want to. I don't recommend it. I think that YouTube is a dangerous place. I think that social media tends to not be a great place. Generally, I think that the more vulnerable you are about things like this, the more bad people will come at you. At the same time, I think that like with things like this, it's off limits. I'm not going to go comment and come at people, but like parenting is something that she's covered and been pretty open about. And she has a kid that has some special needs. And I know that unpopular opinion, I know that on one blog, or I can't remember, everything's sort of a swill and a haze, but I think on one post she mentioned sort of feeling, I'm just going to shorthand it and say she seemed like she was expressing some disappointment and going through the struggles of the disappointment and resentment. And people bashed her for being an awful parent and an awful person. But actually, that's incredibly normal. It's incredibly normal. Look at other people's experiences and what they go through. And that is very normal. And so if somebody's being candid about an uncomfortable, ugly feeling that they have to process and get over, that's not something that's necessarily their whole feelings about it. And so these people are just always looking for vapid excuses to attack. So here's another one. They're mad. How dare she post about her own kid? Now I'm going to give unsolicited advice, or now I'm going to, like, some of these weirdos say horrible things like, I wish I could just take him with me at my house. Or another one's like, I would feed him all the pizza in the world because like he deserves a pizza. Or another person will be like, I think he needs to go to a playground, even though he's at risk, and with COVID going around, but I would take him to the playground. And I just wish I could give him a proper home. These nasty little weirdos, like that's psychotic sounding. I'm sorry. It's not normal. Like, stop it. So yeah, could Katie post about, her kid and like normal things as a parent that you go through and your fears? Yeah. And I remember her posting something like this and people are mad that she felt exhausted. So they were bashing her, saying she feels exhausted, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, it's real. Like, I think like staying up all night with your kid is exhausting. And I don't think that's unreal. I don't think that's anything that's unusual or unheard of with any other one that's a parent. Nobody's like, yes, that was the best ever, let's do that again. So like it's just weird. I don't get it. I don't get these people. Like, I don't know. I think I personally find KJP dislikable. And the reason why I don't swing at her is because she's got 900 million people swinging at her for the most pettiest, stupidest shit, all for the wrong things. Always all for the wrong things.
for me. My son ran a high fever last night. I barely slept watching of her jokes. So this is what actually happened. So it says sister wife application position, junior sister wife. Job description, seeking motivated, lonely, desperate individuals who thrive in toxic environments and have little to no interest in exploring everything the web has to offer. Must be laser focused on anti-KJ watchers that are willing to
Did I
work
accidentally
nights,
back it up?
weekends, and holidays.
I'm confused.
Must
I hit a
not
button
tolerate
and
be
it went
able
backwards.
to gather information on my enemies. Execute plans of action
Let me see if
via
I can.
smear campaigns on my detractors. Must report to senior sister
I think I messed
wives,
this up. Stand by.
Ranel and Aaron. Hours part-time to 40 hours a week. Pay no. You feel now that you actually need to right your wrongs. So every
There we go.
today,
We're gonna get back to the place.
out of it. So you see, AZ, at the end of the day, what you choose to do is your problem, not our problem. I have time for. Okay. So
Oh God. Okay.
that's just the way it is. Then, if you want to just pause and read this, she actually goes over the requirements. And I'm not that type of person, you guys. You know, I don't expect anybody to
There we
do
go.
anything for me.
I found it. There I am.
And I get extra scared because of his history. So, Katie Joy, when you saw and you took your son's temperature and his fever, what is it, 102.7, immediately you should have taken him to a hospital or an urgent care or a doctor's office. So clearly you could.
I thought urgent care, the magic button. Again, I don't have kids, so but I thought the magic number was 103 or something like that, not 102. But it's like the borderline, and if you can't get it down, go in. Not immediately, like it's if you can't get it to break. But I think 104 is like the danger zone. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong.
Couldn't have been that worried because you have everything figured out, right? So I woke up today exhausted, then I had so much to do. I didn't want to shower or get dressed, but I did it. I got ready and put on makeup.
Thank you, Aussie Trisha. Appreciate you for the $14.99. Nice to see you, Spackle. Going back to the start. Yep, thank you.
Despite feeling horrible. All day I was vacillating between cool and sweating. In my last video, I literally had sweat dripping down my neck and stomach. I felt I was going to overheat. I finished as fast as I could, got out of my sweater and took my temp 99.8. Changed into a t-shirt and shorts, finished editing, all while my head felt like exploding. Then I had to re-edit the video 3 times because I made errors in the length of clips I share from Sister Wives. It was a mess, but I got it done. Can we have a round of applause for Katie Joy for just being a mother?
I seem to remember in the beginning of your video how you work so hard. And it's just, you're just so exhausted and tired because you had to clean and do all this stuff. And yeah, you're a mom of like 5 kids. It sounds like one of them's at least an adult and is making his own babies. So I figure, I don't know how many are responsible these days, but I seem to remember that you were just talking about how hard it is to be a mom and stuff like that. I think most moms have had these conversations with good friends and circles. And the thing is with social media is that I would, and having a special needs kid, I would assume that you're fairly isolated between the two. Like the isolation for closer friends and things like that. You're getting pretty busy. You work, you do stuff like that. But okay, so slam KJP for venting a little bit and doing so in a very normal way.
If I don't upload tomorrow, it was because I don't feel good, hoping to get over whatever this that my son and I have. His fever is down to 99.6 today, so he's making progress. She still hasn't taken him to the hospital or the urgent care or just the doctor's office. The silver lining is a blanket I ordered for him came today, and he was so excited to fall asleep with his big Jurassic World blanket. He told me this is so comfy. Then he fell asleep in rant. So this is the type of mother that basically just, she knows it all. She gambles with the child's health, in my opinion, and she
again, I don't know. Like now, granted, I grew up in the 80s and I was the youngest of 5 kids. I grew up in a big family. But if I had 102 fever as a kid, I wasn't going to the hospital. We were going to try to take it down first before, like that happened. So I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily child abuse, but maybe I was raised differently. I don't know. Am I different? Like, am I wrong here? Like, most people can bring down a 102, and it's sort of like, if this doesn't go down, then you call triage. Usually you call a nurse. Um, if it's not serious enough, like where it's like, oh, we got to rush you to the ER, you call a nurse and triage and say, hey, I'm really struggling to get my kid's fever down. What do I do? And they'll tell you to come in or not, usually. In fact, we don't even know if she did that. She could have called triage. Should I come in or not? Well, if there's a lot of COVID going on and stuff, they might be like, do this and do this. Come in, don't come in. Like, they'll tell you sometimes if you call. Like I don't know. Like, do y'all have that? I have that. I can call triage and figure out what's going on. Do I need to come in or not?
Comes to social media, looking for the attention, the sympathy, I don't know what else she's looking for. So AZ, fantastic idea, I think, in my opinion, that you should submit an application just so Katie Joy can have her boundaries and have people on the outside that she could speak to about stuff like this. Because you see, in a situation like this, first thing I would do, take my kids to the urgent care or the hospital or the doctor's office to make sure I am not messing around with their health. Secondly, Katie Joy, call up your mom. I'm sure she would be there too.
Maya says, call your healthcare provider if your temperature is over 103. So it didn't hit the magic 103. I thought it was 103 or 104. So somewhere around there. So 103. So I didn't hit that. It sounds like it went down. It doesn't sound like it maintained at that. So we're making a lot of assumptions that somebody is a reckless mom that endangered and gambled with the life of her son. I think that's a big jump, Ranel. I think that's a big jump. Don't you put curry on people's cuts and stuff?
Help you in any way she can. Or that's where you come in, AZ. Maybe you can rally up a few applications and get her some friends that she can keep this out of social media, because she says she doesn't discuss her son, but there she's putting all his business on blast. Just as
I don't know if that's all his business. That wasn't really an embarrassing story or anything like that. I think there's some things where it's pretty evil to put on blast on your kids. Like, for instance, one creator said, my kid is feeling suicidal, and put their paperwork on blast. Like, fucking hell. Like, who I'm demonetized. I swear so much. Okay. Like, who would do such a thing? You want to see evil? That's evil. Like saying a fever is generic. Everybody has fevers. That's normal. Like it's not going to be embarrassing. That's it's a dime a dozen. Like, it's not a big deal putting your kid's business up there. The amount of rhetoric that you use, Ranel, is very noticeable to me. It's inflammatory. You use inflammatory phrases to get an emotional reaction. So even though you don't have the vocal reaction of there's inflammatory wording when you say gambles with the life of her son, things like that. That's inflammatory wording. That's very purposeful. That is rhetoric. It's meant to get your audience riled up. It's meant to engage them. It's meant to get them mad and outraged. And that's where you guys all feed into this. KJP. Outrage brings money. Does it not? It brings money. It brings money. She's baring teeth. Yeah, she does that a lot. I've noticed that. And I don't know if it's just kind of how her face is or if she's just mad. I have to watch other videos again to see if that's just how she is. She might be just kind of a teethy person. I don't know. But in this video, she seems mad. So, I'm going to go with her. Why is Ranel so concerned about Katie having friends? Do you have friends, Ranel? Maybe you need a few. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. There was a creator that put their child up above on camera and was like, so defend me, for abuse. That was pretty horrific. Have I gotten to curry powder not yet? No, I was gonna maybe click around on the channel, but Dom said he was gonna cover that, so I'll let him cover it. He's gonna be doing that, I think, either this week or whenever. So Dom, when you cover the curry powder, let us know. I'll let it be to him because one thing at a time. We can't all cover the curry powder. Though I would love student Dr. Ben to cover curry powder on medical myths. Student Dr. Ben is a guest of mine sometimes, and I guest on student Dr. Ben's channel. And he likes to debunk myths. And he said that he's run into myths very similar to that. And I said, oh, you should add curry powder to your medical myth show. So it might be in a running. And so if that happens, I'll link it because I think it'll be funny. And then he's always really polite. He doesn't just bash somebody or, something, but he might play a clip and then say, like, this is why this is a bad idea.
Suggestion, since you want to make me your butt of your jokes. And that's fine.
You're upset. That's your senior sister wife. Therefore, it's fine. We're just going to make a 9-minute video about it and then justify my channel.
It's fine. It just goes to show who you are as a person and how things affect your brain. But at the end of the day, maybe it is true what people did warn me about you in the beginning, that you truly are the person that they say you are. But it is what it is.
Which they warned you. Who warned you about AC? Was it Manya and her wonderful videos against AZ? T-spiracy, hypocrisy is thy name. Was it Manya? Because we could tell you a lot of stories about Manya, how she spreads fake lies about SA, how Manya is quite a vindictive person that likes to lie at any cost to protect Steve, who she now was betrayed by. Who warned you? Chesh? Manya? Steve? Well, you need better sources. You definitely need better sources.
Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another. And don't forget, make good memories. Bye.
I'll do what I want. Ranel. Don't tell me. Just kidding. I'm kidding. People talk about personal business, though. But that shouldn't make her kid fair game. I agree. Should not. Definitely not. Scrolling through chat, trying to catch up. I'm always really behind. Gonna ask Fiona about this curry powder stuff. Yeah, right? I think Fiona and I were chatting about that and edu about the curry powder stuff and why it has an active ingredient that people think works and why it actually doesn't. And yeah, there's actually a whole science behind like debunking that kind of stuff, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, that's one of the things. You got to smile with your eyes. See, I'm kind of lucky when I smile, my cheeks rise up. So I get that kind of cheeky kind of thing where I'm like, I have cheeks. So and then my eyes go. But if you don't smile naturally, then sometimes it kind of comes up as a stiff, like, hey, I'm holding a smile, like the Jerry Maguire smile. And he's like on the phone and he's trying to show that he's not on the phone. He's just smiling. Yeah, that's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Let's see here. Scrolling through, catching up. I don't know why chat fell behind for me. Let's see. Stacy says the fact she tacked the AZ stuff onto the video where she made scenarios about a different person's child's health is incredibly funny. Yeah, that is an interesting mix, right? So one part is like, how dare you make the sister wife application, blah, blah, blah. And then the next breath, it's like, I think somebody set it up in chat just right. Let me justify the existence of my channel. That was the other part. And like throw in like all this rhetoric about like how terrible it is. Yeah. So interesting. So that's Ranel, sister life. Apparently she's a senior sister wife, according to AZ on the app. It says so at least, along with EKC. She's a little bit dry, so you kind of, well, so is EKC. So you kind of have to, jazz it up a little bit. But yeah, there's that. Speaking of dry, I'm going to flip to Charlotte. So here we go. Let me go ahead and share that. Present. Share. I'm not sure how far I'm going to watch this, but I think what I need to watch is in the beginning of this. And I actually watched it live and was like, lols. So here we go. Charlotte's a first. I can't hate on Charlotte. There's something, I have a little soft spot there for her, but I haven't appreciated a lot of what she's had to say recently here and there. So I'm not going to be nearly as salty with Charlotte. I just can't. But I might have something to say about what she's saying. So
doing. Hey, Cindy Lou Who, Jen P, Mama T, Mama Six, Kimber, Teresa,
we don't need all this.
Flamingo.
We're going to make this go
Here
fast.
I am. Hey, Mustang Mama, Vera,
Speak
hey,
faster.
Buddha Belly. So how's everybody doing? Y'all know
We're
yesterday,
doing great.
right? We went live.
Thank
and
you.
Talked a little bit about, what was going on.
Thank
and
you.
Somebody had told me in
As
my
you do.
chat that Unirock was claiming that LB gave him a privacy strike. Well, I guess that was news to LB, because over on the Twitter, and Unicup did a whole Twitter spaces about it, right? But over on Twitter, LB denies it. And
For some reason,
I
I'm
have
out
to
of
tell
sync.
you, I believe LB. I believe LB.
Why is my audio?
So I want to.
Why is my audio so slipping? So what we're seeing right now is audio slipping. So she's talking, but it is, the audio is slipped from her talking. So let me see if I can go back just a little bit. Oftentimes when you see audio slipping like this, it means, and sometimes it's wrong, but it means that part of the video has been edited. But I hear if you edit a video, like say somebody says something naughty or silly or whatever, something happens, you show something on screen that you need to take off by accident, the chat should be going away. So it could be something on my end, but I've got audio slipping. And usually that happens from editing, but let me go back. I'm going to see.
That Unirock was.
Nope, I got audio slippage.
Claiming that LB gave him a privacy strike.
Okay, I apologize. It's going to be out of sync. It's not my fault. I don't know what to do.
Well, I guess that was news to LB, because over on the Twitter, and Unicup did a whole Twitter spaces about it, right? But over on Twitter, LB denies it. And I have to tell you, I believe LB. I believe LB.
Okay, so I have a question. Why do you believe LB? And for those that don't know, LAB is, I know she's just a sweetheart of the YouTubes and people like her. I don't. That woman. So my introduction, we're just gonna go story time for a brief second. Sorry, Charlotte. I just love hearing my own stories. So we're gonna put you on pause for a second, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so story time. My introduction to the anti-KJP world was really weird. So, I came from, how am I going to say this really fast? I'm going to say it really fast as best as I can. But you know me, I'm very bunny traily. So I'm going to try to make it, right now I'm trying to order events here in my brain, which, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff. For me, it's always fun. Okay, I was in the Great Debate community. The Great Debate community is where you argue about religion and God and worldviews and things like that and philosophy, and it all kind of comes together and people come to the head. I was Team Jesus. Steve McRae was Team Atheist, agnostic, whatever the fuck. And some other people, everybody had little teams, right? And so I was like, yeah, Team Jesus. That was me at the time. And so we were in this Great Debate group, and that's how we kind of all knew each other. And there was a point that I was getting to, and now it's lost. I was explaining. What was I explaining? Oh my God. See, this is why I suck at this. I was explaining how in the world I got into the anti-KJP stuff. So I was all into that world, and we were just doing panels and some really deep discussions, sometimes social discussions, sometimes political discussions, sometimes religious discussions, but we were in some pretty good discussions all throughout the community. It wasn't anything that Steve designed. He just kind of fell into it and joined. And then fast forward, Steve started trying to allocate certain things for himself and create a channel with what other people worked to build, and people didn't like it very much. Fast forward again, he builds the NSS. People build it up, but really Kyle did all the work. You don't believe me? Look at that channel. I'm just saying. Case dismissed. Kyle did all the work. It was his channel. KJP shows up as a guest about Gilly Juice. You're talking about weird things like curry, rub some curry on it, make it cut better. Gilly Juice was another weird remedy thing. KJP starred on that, was like a guest in that or whatever, a co-host, whatever you want to call it. Was a guest a couple times. There was a big falling out with Steve and Kyle. Steve said there was a 50-50 agreement, but whatever, Kyle's like, nah, I'll do what I want. And then like it turned into legal issues, whatever. And then Steve started targeting everybody that had co-hosted with Kyle when they were on the outs and targeted KJP. And so KJP was on the outs with Steve. Steve was bothering her over and over and over and over and over again. There were some issues, eventually escalated to him saying, her child doesn't look sick to me, and posted her child up and started just being gratuitous. And just like at one point we were watching him tweet at her every 4 minutes on Social Blade. I wish I was joking. And his argument was like, you helped Kyle steal a channel or whatever. And like just ridiculous. And he would do it to her. He'd do it to Jimmy. He'd do it to Godless Engineer. He did it to anybody that was ever a co-host at one point. He was targeting everybody. So just to kind of give you a little bit of background there. So fast forward again, you're like, well, how does this tie in with LB? Well, I was minding my own business, watching Lulz cows like Shanny for Christ, and in comes Nate the lawyer. And Nate the lawyer is trying to explain how Steve has allied with a teen mom group on Facebook, and how like there's like this stuff that's going on. And I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. People are sending pictures of dead babies. I don't know what's going on because they're crazy. And I'm just like, these bitches sound crazy, but turns out not everybody's crazy, but some of them are. So I was like, oh my gosh. At first I was frightened. I was like hearing these stories. And so he's like, then there's this issue where LB says, Katie ruined Christmas and Katie struck her channel. And then they were like, oh, well, no, that's not true. And then Katie, and then LB shows this email, but the email looks possibly fake. So Nate makes a video about it, this possibly fake email from YouTube, and how like he's got a buddy and they're taking a look and they're comparing it to actual emails that you get from YouTube. So then Steve goes, just show your dashboard, LB, just show your dashboard, prove that it's fine. And she's like, no, like kids aren't on fire. I don't know. Like, like dishes need to be done, and like blows it off. And then runs away. And like the thing is like Katie ruined Christmas and struck her channel. And then there was some sort of fundraiser because of her ruined Christmas and all this stuff. And then she runs off. And then there's drama. And then there's chalk or something and not stopping with the police. And then she like recreates a new channel. Okay. Are we there? Are we caught up? Did I make any sense? Probably not. So anyway, basically what I'm trying to say is she's untrustworthy. Like she has and so like my question to you is, and it's the same question Navy asked in chat, TT asked in chat and some others, is why would you trust LB? Why? Is it the subs and the convenience and the alliance? Or is it actually her actions and history?
So I want to show you all real quick. Let's see. Let me share my Twitter with y'all. And then we're going to get to a video that we have to see. We have to see this video. Okay, so let me bring up Twitter. So here is LB's tweets. Okay, I just heard that Uni said I gave him a privacy strike for using my name. I don't know if he's mixing me up with Katie, but yeah, that definitely never happened. How would someone even give a strike for using their name? And then she says, no, y'all, I absolutely did not privacy strike him. He more than likely said that because he's getting crap for reporting my channel. He admitted he was going to try to take my channel down because I questioned if he was a vet. Imagine being so ridiculous to try to take away.
Full stop. The questioning that he was a vet thing, I just want to know why that's okay with you, Charlotte. Why is that okay and fine? Yeah, I noticed you didn't blink an eye there. I didn't say anything. I don't think I have seen anything. I'm just curious because that's kind of a big deal.
An income for a big family like mine just because I questioned something. This man has accused me of terrible things, lied on me repeatedly, but I can't say I wonder, and he's reporting me and then lying.
That was more than I wonder. She was linking all sorts of things. She was trying to like say that the service of the person that she was married to and the people that she's related to somehow gives her the ability to say if somebody is a vet or not. Like she didn't just, I wonder. This was a lot of I wonder. Like just because come on, let's not be coy. Let's not be coy. We are women of honor, Charlotte. Lies do not become us.
Trying to say I struck him. Dude, get a life and leave me alone. Girl, I hear you. I'm right there with you. Right freaking there with you. And not only is he trying to get LB's channel taken and Molly's and Justin's, now he's going, of course, he's always been after Steve McRae. We all know that. But
Nerd Angle says it's a TOS violation. It is, actually. So if you look under TOS, bashing someone's vet status is against TOS. Fun fact. Good for you to know. Good for anybody to know.
now he's going after Nikki's channel. And I guess EK.
Wait, you're upset that somebody's going after sister wife Nikki's channel? The fake nice Canadian? She's not a nice Canadian, but she's a fake nice Canadian. She's sort of like Megan, the betrayer. You know, she just gives you flowers and pink things. Hey! But she's not a nice person. Like, it's clear. Like, yeah. Criticize Nikki's channel. Like, I think it's fair game. How come it's not fair game, Charlotte? Why is that not criticizable?
C's channel too. So hey, may as well knock them all out while
Might as well.
you at it, right? Knock out all your competition. It's just ridiculous.
How is Sally? I understand you want to be on stream, Sally, but you need to really calm down. Stop with your Sally Field stuff. Stop it. Yes, they love you. They really love you. Stop it. Hey. She's gonna be quiet, and then she's looking at me like I do what I want. So I have a husky mix, and she's very vocal, and she's a little bit mad because she wants attention, but my husband's busy fixing something, so so she's a little bit fussy. So sorry about that. Yeah, moving on. I can't concentrate with you, man. I can't. Raffles just chilling though. Raffles like a Boston. Bostons are easygoing. Oh my gosh, you want an easy small dog? Bostons.
Ridiculous.
A little bit hyper and neurotic at times, but they calm down.
Ooh, LB, get them. I know, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't blame.
I don't know who's after Nikki's channel, but I definitely think she's criticizable.
Her, not a bit. Not one bit. You know, hey, the slow-mo queen. Yeah, good grief. Yeah, I mean, what a thing to lie about, right? Why?
Oh, you know what? Nikki did have Rev Ruined. Nope. I see what she's saying. Yeah. So Nikki had Rev Ruined as a guest, and Rev Ruined questioned the status. That's what it was. It is against TOS. So blame Rev Ruined. Nice guest you have there. I tell you what, you gotta be careful who you guest and platform. They could get on your platform and say, "I'll rip your off," and then all of a sudden you have to pull down the video or edit it.
I lie about it. I mean, here's the thing with Unirock. And I've said this before, I'm so disappointed in myself because I have went back and forth on liking Unirock.
I'm a little disappointed in myself too. I understand that. I was a mod for Steve before we knew who Steve was. But the difference is that we didn't know who Steve was from anybody back in the days. And then we posted warning signs everywhere and y'all were like, hold my beer.
But this time, I'm done. I am completely done.
You're done because he swung at somebody? Like, that isn't you? Like, I don't understand why you're done. Okay. Is it because it's inconvenient? and you found that there's somebody that's a better ally, like, I don't know, you could get some of Molly's viewers, for instance. Let's see here. It's Sally's channel now. That's right. It's Sally's channel.
Anonymous Zombie, he's trying to say that Steve McRae and Nikki and I guess EKC was vet bashing him. And look, nobody should vet bash anybody, but like I've already
Okay, we agree then. We agree. You shouldn't vet bash people. That we can agree on. So what's the problem? What is the problem?
said, asking questions is not vet bashing. And
it can be.
If you serve,
so you can ask questions and it not be, or you could ask questions in a way that's incredulity and is leading questions, and it's not really questions. It's designed to cause plausible deniability because you can't say what you actually want to say. So you're just like, I'm just at Raffles. Hang on 1 second. I gotta pause it 1 second. Sorry, they are battling out trying to get into Scott's space. Scott's trying to work on something and they're just like, no, I want to be out with Dad. And I'm like, no. Anyway, you'll find that like I get distracted because of interruption. So here we go again.
Our country, that's a most honorable thing to do.
Okay,
but you can't use that excuse every time somebody asks a question.
But the questions are involved with that. That's the problem. And maybe I don't know what you're working at, because the questions are involved with that. That's the thing. It's not like it's separated. Yep. Is he even? Have you seen proof? My husband. I'm just asking questions. It sort of reminds me of Chesh, when Chesh said is drag, this is what Chesh said. Chesh said drag is and I'm just going to preface this as not being true of what she's saying, but Chesh said drag is a registered sex offender. That's what Chesh said, which he is not. And then when she was confronted about it, she said, well, I forgot to put a question mark. I'm sorry. It was a question. I'm just asking questions. Like, it's a plausible deniability game. I see it. I don't like it. It's shady. And let's get real. Like, we're not fools here, are we?
You can't say, well, I'm turning you into Team YouTube.
Yes, you can.
Tag Team YouTube, y'all.
Yes, you can.
Hey, J. Marie. I hope this all backfires on him. I hope it does too, Mended Heart. I do too. Steve McRae has said some foul things about Uni's military service, to be honest. I don't doubt that. I don't. You know, like him and Steve McRae, their situation, I don't get involved in that.
Okay, but you're involved in the Uni side. So what is it about Steve McRae that you either are aligned with and being buddies with, because, you know, or what is it about Steve McRae that is making you afraid to confront him, but you feel perfectly comfortable confronting Uni? Because I'm just curious why there's a difference there. I don't get involved much, but I'm going to get involved in this one side.
Because I know that it's went both ways for so long, so I just stay out of the middle of that. But him just, it's ridiculous.
Nikki May Pickle in the chat.
He did a Twitter Spaces, I guess yesterday. He was a little disappointed with Katie Joy, but here's what I noticed. It's like an hour long. I did not listen to all of it. I'm not going to make myself listen to all of it. But the part that I did listen to, he's too busy bashing LB, Molly, and everybody else. And then it's like he barely touches on the Katie Joy thing, her calling him out. And it's kind of interesting to me. There's got to be a reason for it. Did you see Susanna Salty, that creepy feminist writer, live earlier about Katie Joy without a crystal ball stealing her life experiences? She said if Katie Joy without a crystal ball steals her experiences from her book, she will channel strike Katie Joy. Sarah, I didn't see that, but I have heard that story.
I mean, isn't that what she rants about all the time? One second, I'm having a error. There we go, I'm back. Charlotte is a friend to none. She uses her country accent to trick people. Oh, I am a sucker for Southern accents, I have to say. Like, I respond well to them.
Several times, actually, that, I have heard that rumor that Katie Joy stole Suzanne's experiences and
You
claimed them
stole
as her
my
own.
story.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's what I need. Have you ever seen Secret is it Secret Room? I think it's called Secret Room, and it's with Johnny Depp. And there's this guy, and it's a Stephen King short story, I think. There's this guy that shows up at his door, and Johnny Depp's a writer, and he's got writer's block, and he's really disheveled, and he's just laying around in like his boxers and stuff. And this guy comes up, and he's got this cowboy hat, and he goes, "You stole my story," and just starts like insisting that he stole his story. That's Suzanne. She's like the guy from the Secret Room. You stole my story.
Nearly word for word when I watched the side by side. Misty says, "Wow,
Secret Window." Thank you.
yeah, he's
Secret
yeah,
Window.
Anonymous Zombie. It was like he was a little disappointed with Katie.
I was so close. Yep, Secret Window. It was a good movie. I liked it.
He didn't bash Katie the way he bashes everybody else. It makes no sense to me. He's going to say people are vet bashing for nominating him on the Grifties. That's ridiculous. Oh, and that's another thing. I'm number 2. I want to be number 1 because, look, we cannot let Steve McRae beat me.
But do you want to be number 1, Charlotte? Really, truly? I get what you're doing. You're doing the whole felon thing, when people like outed you out as a felon and you did like, I'll wear it. And everybody was like, yeah, I put felon in my name. I appreciate that. I like that. Look, it's a good technique. But I don't think you actually want to be known as a grifter. That's not something that you want. Come on.
Just can't. I am taking this personally. I voted earlier today. Let me bring it up here. Let me stop this and let me bring up the Grifties.
Your vote will not beat our army of bots, pork bots.
And I hope I'm at number 1. I know I ain't going to be, but I'm going to check and see. Because I'm telling you, I want to celebrate this. I really do. All right, so let's go to the Grifties. Here we go. All right. Yep, Steve McRae, still number 1. I'm number 2. I'm going to vote again.
You stole my grifter title.
Again for myself. And then we've got Molly's at 13. Backwoods Barbie's at 15. I'm sure that Katie Joy, they've got the bots working full time.
Backwards Barbie. Let's talk about that one. That one is whoa over the top.
She's at 39.
She's sort of like Backwards Barbie is like the redneck Tia Tequila version of anti-KJP.
We'll vote for her though. If you really want me to, I will. Yeah, I'm serious. I do. I mean, if I'm going to be at number 2, then I want to win.
Bring in the bots.
I've asked someone who may be using bots to make sure you get to number 1. Thank you, Bunny. Thank you. I mean, I've been accused of it, and I wouldn't even know how to go about like getting a bot.
Look, I personally don't get the grifter thing for Charlotte, but I'm sure someone's going to tell me after I say that. But I'm all about the Steve. Vote for Steve, by the way. You can vote once an hour. You can vote on multiple devices. And if you're technology savvy, well, you can vote all you want.
Do you rent them? Do you buy them? I don't know. Suzanne stated she believes this stuff between Uni and Katie Joy is a distraction. Like something is happening behind the scenes with 7M lawsuit. I think it's a distraction too, Sarah. I do not buy it. I especially do not buy it since I heard his Twitter spaces. Hey, Nikki.
I wonder if Charlotte thinks that Uni is paid for, if you kind of watch EKC and you watch like the way that they're kind of working out with like this whole like uni is paid for disinformation campaigns. I've noticed that excuse me. I've noticed that EKC was sort of working out that recently with Tina, stay on the mission, Tina. Narrative. So, you know, EKC was like talking about like QAnon, and it sort of was kind of tying on like how she's learned things about QAnon and disinformation campaigns and how she's going to tie it with us. Did you notice when I confronted EKC and she like went through our talk and tried to retcon it some, and then I went through and talked, and then she went back and did a talk about my talk doing her talk and talking to her. I don't know, like it got confusing. She said something about I was a disinformation artist or something like that. I don't know, disinformation agent. It was something to that gist, and I went, oh, you're weird. Okay.
Speaking of backwards Barbie, I saw a video on her legal stuff. Oh, and that's another thing. I watched Renee. It was
Mods, you know what to do when you see a bot that's actually a bot.
Ranel that did a video about Backwoods Barbie. Mama June called Backwoods Barbie out, and it was not in a good way. You know, Barbie has always did videos
Sometimes
on
you
Mama
feel
June
like a bot.
and all that stuff. Well, I guess now Barbie has went and removed all of her videos about Mama June. But yeah, she went off. Yeah, she should have. I mean, Barbie called her a D-list celebrity.
There's lots of D-list celebrities out there. Okay, is there anything else that's interesting in here? Where is the transcript on this video? Maybe it's up here. No. Toggle timestamps. Where'd my transcript go? Where is it? Is there anything else that's interesting here? Oh, we're going more and more. There's Katie. I'm Katie. I'm boring. Okay, here's some more uni, though. We're going to watch her talk about uni here. There's Katie. Let's go to uni.
4 other women. Katie says that she did not. She denies the claim that Steve made. And Katie also claims that Steve is the head of a group of trolls, a massive army that goes around and does his bidding. Now, after analyzing the situation, I have sided with Steve, and I have done so, though, based off of hard.
What's that, y'all? What is that? Unirock siding with Steve, right?
Yeah, that happened. So one of the things that Steve will do is he'll go into other communities and search for other creators. So what I think may have happened, and maybe I'm wrong, is that Red Rhetoric went, I know a creator, Unirock. And so what they tend to do is they will go over to a creator, and if they think that they can weaponize and excite them and get them to cover a story with the amount of subs that they need in an army, they'll keep their detractors at bay and busy with that person, which, you know, to a degree is kind of smart going, you know, but it's also pretty evil. And so what they do is they went through different people. So one of the people that they tried was Uni. In my opinion, this is my perspective. So you have to understand that I'm on the other side of this. So I'm a Steve detractor. That's a Dragoon. That's a part of the GDC. That's an ex-mod of Steve's, right? And I'm having all these lies being told about me. So Steve's saying all these different lies, and he has this weird perspective about his channel's been stolen, and this weird perspective on all of his detractors and stuff like that. So I was on the other side of this. And so one of the things that Uni tends to do, and I this is my opinion, you guys can have your own opinion, but you can love, or it's an older video, much older video. You can, like 2 years old at least. It's at least 2 years old. You can love or dislike Uni's technique, but one of his techniques is he listens to one side and then the other side. One side and the other side. And so I think some people make the mistake of thinking, oh, like he's my ally because he's listening to my side. And they think that they can weaponize him and use him. And I think that's what they were hoping for. Well, it didn't work out because he heard the other side too and kind of came up with a conclusion and kind of sorted the truthiness of all of it. So like, yeah, like Christopher Mowdy even guest on the show at one point to just explain like what was going on with the Steve interview and stuff like that. He ended up talking to pretty reasonable people and kind of hearing both sides and went, oh, okay, maybe this is looking different than what I expected. It's interesting. Uni gave Steve the benefit of the doubt on what he said. It's an old ass video. You can tell from the background and the angle of the video. Yeah, it is a very old video. Yep, absolutely. So you have to understand, back then I was like really kind of miffed at Uni. I was like, who's this guy? And like, what is he talking about? And is he talking about me? Like is he talking about people I know? Like, who is this guy? Like, you want, like, I was getting real fussy at him and stuff. I even got blocked at one point. Funny story. Guess what? I'm an admin now. Ha! Things change, Charlotte. In 2 years, things change. People change. Yes. Newsflash. So you're showing a video from 2 years ago when people didn't know each other and didn't know the whole situation. And guess what? Positions change. So the irony of this is my position changed too. Like I used to like get really frustrated and I would be like, what the heck? And yell in chat. And lo and behold, I have a wrench. I don't know what happened, but yeah, things change. So it's not like it's inconsistent as much as perceptions, views, understanding, growth happens, things like that. I don't have to be on a hate campaign like y'all do with Katie Joy. I can actually change my views and opinions with more evidence and information, more understanding, all that kind of stuff, you know? So, you know, it can happen. You can change positions. It's possible. So what are you showing? Why is this so shocking?
Yeah, this is an old one, Mama T. It just shows how he goes back and forth, flip-flopping.
3 years. Oh my gosh. See, I thought it was only 2 years. 3 years ago.
Katie Joy, you're a nasty person. Yep. Do rag rock.
Titan says, Alma Rose and I were part of a cabal of international channel thieves thieves. Blah, I'm tongue-tied. A cabal of international channel thieves that stole $11 billion from Steve, his daughter, his fans, and future generations in purple tooties.
I don't know why it's flickering like that. I think she's mad at you. See, I could not figure that out the other day, Nate. Oh boy. Oh, I can only imagine. Thank you, Nate. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, yeah. So like Exiled and I like have been Exiled and I are like brothers in arms pretty much, except for sisters. So like yeah. But actually it was Exiled and Fiona that got me to give Uni another chance because I was like, nope. Like it took me a while to come around. And I came around.
So that's why. Oh boy. It's flickering again. What in the world is going on here with my internet?
Quit show
on Instagram while telling them to CrowdStrike and harass. All the evidence that shows that Katie is a troll. Okay,
it's flickering again because you're throwing a rave. Apparently,
the claim that Steve defrauded the government again. She has no evidence to say this and claims that she does. And when she shows that evidence in the Instagram stream, the screenshots don't show what she says they show. She showed screenshots of Steve saying, "Look, I don't mind if I have to wait a little bit to get my money." But she uses that screenshot to tell her audience that Steve didn't want his money. That's not Steve saying he didn't want his money. That's Steve saying, if I have to wait, okay, fine. I'm not going to be a dick. You got me? How does it make sense, Katie, that Steve wouldn't want his money, right? You're not thinking about what you're saying at this point. No.
So, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, he did want his money. He just didn't want his money right then, and he didn't want it traceable. He wanted it in a bag. He wanted Kyle to bring money straight to him because that's what you do when you're above board. Yeah. So again, opinions change with more information. And at that time, he had limited information. You have to understand at that time, they had a massive block campaign for anybody that would have relevant information that would show him otherwise. They had a massive block campaign that was called Block With Me. Do you know how many people Cheshire and Steve had blocked during that time? Do you want to take a guess? Guesses. How many people did Steve and Cheshire have blocked? Now I'm gonna go with a ballpark number, and so round up or down, you know. But how many people do you think were on that block list? Do you recall? Guesses in chat, anybody? Do you remember that block list? Block with me, and Chesh and Manya and Steve would link it everywhere. Nerd Angle makes a guess of 2K. How many people were on that block list back then? Because they wanted to keep people away from sharing alternate information that might have been relevant. 2,000, 20,000, 350, 750, 200. Remember, Steve's a smaller creator. 75, 275. It was long as F. Were you on that list? Oh, let's see. 300. It was between 300 and 350. 300 and 350 people were blocked. There were a few socks, but very few. And there were creators that they had no excuse for blocking that knew the truth. Like, tell me, answer me this, riddle me this. Why is Shannon Q blocked? What did Shannon Q do that was so horrible? She's a good person. She's chill. She doesn't troll, doesn't attack. Blocked. It's like she has an alternative understanding of things. Blocked. Paula Logio, blocked. Bill Ludlow, blocked. And obviously people like me blocked. Like, you know, but like there were people that were blocked that like disagreed with them, but were like not detractors and stuff. They just like, I humbly disagree. Blocked. Yeah, it was a ridiculous amount of people. So like at that time, there wasn't much to challenge. They really had done a huge campaign to insulate themselves from any detraction, any other opinions. So I'm not going to go through that whole thing, but yeah, the list was definitely plentiful. If you were on that list, hands in chat, hands or horns, if you feel comfortable putting the horns up. I know some people don't like that satanic-y stuff. I think it's hilarious. But yeah. There was an enormous block list of detractors, people that would give any information, and they were like, we're going to block that. We're going to keep that from happening. So, yeah. Oh, Suge was blocked. By the way, if you haven't checked out Learning with Suge's videos, they are so fantastic. They are just so great and hilarious and brilliant. And I wish I could do short videos as well as Suge. I do short videos too, but they're never as good. So he's very excellent at what he does. I was blocked the first day for correcting Steve twice. How dare you? You understand philosophy. You cannot exist. Goodbye. Yep, you ended up on it eventually. Yep. Yep. We all end up on the list. Sally, were you on the list too? Bark yes if you were on the list. Were you on the list? No? That's right. It was before your time. You weren't born yet. See, Sally's a truth teller. Anyway, I am going to close it with this. Charlotte, why y'all gotta be this way? I feel kind of like a chump because I'm like, let's circle the wagons with Charlotte. Let's not let her get attacked, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, I'm just going to just swing randomly because, you know, there's a speed up in my way. I don't know. I know that you gained some Molly fans and then this happened. I don't know. I just noticed. I don't know. I'm just a bit disappointed. And I know that you're a little bit upset that Julie has a wrench over at Unis, but Julie has a wrench over Unis because she's a creator, not because she's a mod. You keep saying she's a mod. She's not actually a mod. I'm a mod, though. How you doing? Anyway. Oh, you know who's going to be a mod on my channel, too? Julie Virgo. Gonna mod you right now. No, you don't have to do anything, but you got a wrench just because apparently that's very upsetting. So there you go, a wrench for Julie Virgo. By the way, Julie Virgo is hilarious as well. And I don't know who I'm a bigger fan of, to be honest, Julie. I am a big fan of your mom. I think she's really hilarious. And I think that's why I started watching, was because I was just like, I was so thrilled. I thought it was so funny. But yeah. All right. So I'm going to log off with this. I think we've been going on for a little bit now. I'm sure I pissed off enough people and I will lose 20 million subs right now. And, you know, that's how it goes. Up and down, chutes and ladders, round and round. Here we go. I don't care because I say what I want and I do what I want. Also, I guess before I go, I saw the salt and I just thought about it. There are certain people. Modex, you ought not to make fun of people and accuse people of faking cancer. It's not good. Not a good look for you, especially considering. Damn, you and betrayer Megan. It's pretty gross. I don't know. I just want to say that this man has he seems to have no interest in being accurate. So, like, I'll just give you an example about Modex. Modex came into a hangout that I was part of on Nikki's channel, the Canadian Nikki with the, you know, the sister wife Nikki. And he accused me of something that I was confused about. And he's like, oh, what have you done to Marvel Girl? You were just horrible and you did all this stuff to Marvel Girl. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. So, like, to the average person, it looked like maybe I was obfuscating. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, you know? And like I was really irritated because, like, I really didn't know what he's talking about. But because, like, I had COVID at one point and it did some foggy things in my brain, and because, like, you know, it'd been 2 years of just weird stuff, I thought, well, there's a lot of people that have flew by in my chats and I've been engaged with, and I've been on several panels. So I was like, maybe I have engaged with her. I don't know. But I was like, I'm pretty sure I haven't. And I kept saying, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're a liar. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what you're talking about. Show me then. And then he did come back in EKC's chat and did say that when he looked up the stream, it was not me. He was wrong. So, but he made a big, huge scene in front of, like, I don't know, a whole audience of people, derailed and wasted like a good 10 minutes yelling at me for something I didn't do. Good job, Modex. Ooh, you showed me Duck Dynasty. Good job. So, you know, I know that you're sick or whatever, and I leave you the hell alone, but dude, like, you can't be attacking people like you're doing right now. And for what? For a woman that betrays everybody, like, all the time? Do you understand that betrayer Megan sent me DMs of Claire? And I don't put it out because I'm like, why should I put that out? But it says something about betrayer Megan. Like, it doesn't stop with what she did to Nikki May. It's like all over the place. And didn't she accuse you of faking cancer, if I recall? There's some evidence about that too. But she sends you flowers and kissy faces and makes up for it, right? So it's fine. You know, as long as you get attention from the female species. Let's see. Yeah. Also in other news, Julie is a terrible pregnant and needs to take, or terrible pregnant. Wow, I'm misspeaking because I read the word. She is a terrible parent of a fake baby, and she gives her fake baby cigarettes, and therefore definitely worst person ever. I'm going to make exposed videos of her soon to expose everything that she's been doing and up to. It's really terrible and awful. Also the funniest thread I've seen on Twitter in some time. It's hilarious. There's a Terminator that keeps coming at us. We keep saying, leave us alone. And they keep making accounts. In other news, Alice says, I'm really a man. I mean, I do rock a really badass beard. You know, that would be handy. I actually have no desire to be a man. But there's 2 things that I think I would do if I was a man. Well, maybe 3. One would be like having the advantage of like people not explaining your jokes to you back and stuff like that would be nice. But also like it would be really cool to have a beard because I've gained some weight over COVID, and just to have like that beard to like cut my like bullfrog chin away, that'd be really handy. Guys get away with that. It's pretty amazing. Another thing that I could do, oh my gosh, if I was a guy, I could pee anywhere. Oh my goodness, I could just whip it out on the side of the road as long as I don't flash anybody. Just pee anywhere, make yellow snow. It's pretty handy. Oh, ooh, that'd be handy. And if I was a dude, you know, really, I don't want to be a dude, and I don't identify as a dude, so stop calling me that. But what I would say is, if I was a dude, if I could borrow a penis for like maybe like 2 weeks, there's a lot I would do with that. I'm just saying. Anyway, what? I'm not weird. You're weird. What are you talking about? Rev can't do that. Ew, gross. Baby carrots. I didn't want a baby carrot. That's not good. I wish I could have a beard soon enough. You know, I'm a big fan of keeping your beard trimmed. Like the long beards freak me out. No Viking beards. Gross. 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 Peeing anywhere is good. Right? Right? I think that's really awesome. Alice, though, you got some nerve making fun of my weight. I feel like, you know, maybe you and I could get on camera sometime. Put the camera straight on. Don't use any filters. Don't use any makeup. And we can put it straight on and then stand up and see who's the fat one. Because I noticed that your picture is cutting off your cheeks, and your cheeks look a little bit jowly. Just saying. So, I mean, you know, I'm just asking questions. You know, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just, you know, just like you didn't, you know I was a woman and you just weren't trying to be mean. I just, you know, I'm asking questions. It looks like, you know, you just look like you might look actually way different than your picture. Question mark. I don't know. Just asking. Anyway, I'm an asshole and I'm mean, but I'm only mean to people that deserve it. Don't be like me. I used to be sweet. I really did. If you saw me early on, you'd go, oh my God, you're a sweetheart. And now I'm just a meanie. So what can I say? That being said, be excellent to each other. People that are good to you, be good to back, you know? And people that are jerks and attack people who have cancer for no fucking reason, call them out for what they are. They are cowards and weak and cruel. And yeah, liars. It's what you do. All right, y'all. Be good. Enjoy your week. It is Wednesday, midday. We're going to make it. Have a good day.